Christian McCaffrey seemed in his interview to be a little bit annoyed that he ran all the way down the field and then Jordan Mason got in there for a touchdown. I think Kyle Shanahan might have realized that it wasn't the best decision because later on in the game, when Debo got all the way down to like the 1-yard line, then instead of putting someone else to run it in, he let Debo run it in. And when asked if he was angry that he didn't get that touchdown, Chris McCaffrey said, yeah, like he was pretty, like he was, I think he's just kind of a more serious guy. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, are you joking? Or are you just answering this, like being hard on yourself? Like, oh, I'm mad that I didn't get in type of thing. But he was very firm and had a short answer. And he was just like, yeah, I'm mad. I should have gotten in. So
yeah, I know the comments you're talking about. They're interesting. I think they were right after the game or the day after the game or something like that. And to me, I think I view it in one way. I think he was kind of just trying to be open about the emotions during the game because you just ran 73 yards. You normally score the first touchdown or a touchdown. Obviously didn't. And I think he was also trying to categorize why Shanahan did it. Obviously, you're running there. You want to set him out of play, take a breather. Unfortunately, it was only one play for the touchdown. Mason punched it in. Cool moment. Do I care? Well, not really. Personally, though, I do want to give Christian McCaffrey the touchdown. Just continue those kind of records, the try and cement his continued status and things like that. But do I really care? Not really. I don't think McCaffrey truly cares either. Like after the game kind of type of thing, he's going to come back, attack the same mindset, and probably now beg Kyle to keep him in the game to score the touchdown if he gets it on this drive. But it's an intriguing thing for sure because you usually see Kyle ride with his star players and things like that. I think he would if the game had, or if it was later in the game, if the game had more importance to it at the moment. But yeah, it's all right.
So you might not have cared, but I know someone who's in the chat right now who definitely would care. I don't think he's having a debate about something completely different, but Mr. Blue Magic came on when I did a call-in show last week because you were out doing some crazy stuff because you're doing crazy stuff every weekend. And by crazy, I mean being very productive and you always have a million things going on. But he said that Christian McCaffrey was going to have a touchdown in the over-under game. So I'm going to ask you, do you think Christian McCaffrey will have a touchdown in this game?
Oh, I'm hammering the over. I don't care. Christian McCaffrey could break his ankle and I'd still take the touchdown. Yeah. No. I'm hammering the over. That's what I got to do.
I am too. I completely agree. I think this is going to be, even though I do think that the 49ers have kind of built up the Cardinals with their words in the way that they've addressed them. And I do think Kyler Murray, someone in the chat was asking, like, who's a better player, Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy? I think Kyler Murray's so crazy talented, but just the team in general is lacking a lot of ability. I think the only, like, real playmaker on their offense is probably, like, Trey McBride. And then for defensively, I kind of think Budda Baker, but he's old and we've seen George Kittle like stiff arm him and him not make as much of an impact. So I think in the beginning of the year, they were playing very feisty. And I definitely think the coaching change is great for them. And the players seem to play hard for Jonathan Gannon, right? Seem to play hard for him, which is great because I know in the offseason, people were kind of making fun of him because he seemed a little bit dorky or whatever. But I think right now, just like talent-wise, they're so deprived compared to the 49ers that I think the 49ers are going to win by, more than 12 is my prediction. Do you think that Kyler Murray will turn the ball over under 0.5 interceptions for Kyler Murray?
You're going the Kyler route. 49ers, one of the best teams at generating interceptions. Well, yeah, I think they're top 3 or so at generating interceptions, but they generate turnovers in general. And if you talk about Kyler, I believe he has 2 picks. He hasn't turned the ball over, I believe, in the last 2 games. I'm not sure if he's fumbled or not. I am going to go with no. I don't think Kyler turns the ball over interceptions-wise. I think that he's going to – I think the game plan probably is going to try and get the ball out quick, utilize his speed, things like that. We'll probably go with the no, which might be a hot take. I'm not sure.
I was gonna say yeah, but I liked your reasoning. I felt like you gave a good reason. What do you think that the Cardinals' strategy for success against this 49ers defense is going to be? You have
Probably going to try and use James Conner. I think that
okay.
that's probably the way. You look at it. I think last week or the week before, when they last played, they played
Well, they like
Pittsburgh. I think.
randomly beat a good team not too long
Yeah,
ago,
they
right?
played Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. And in that game, it was just pounding the ball. They ran the ball 39 times in that game. 25 came from James Conner. So I'm expecting, I don't think that they necessarily care about the average. They're going to try and pound the ball, kind of grind the game out, kind of win in that way. And I think that right now they're going to try and exploit the matchup up front. Defensive tackles, not there. Run the ball inside.
I like that. I like that. So James Conner over under. If I want to do 2 touchdowns, do I go 1.5?
Two. Okay. No, I'll go under. I don't think they score that much. I don't think they'll score the 24 points that they scored against Pittsburgh, where Connor had two. I would not be surprised at all if he gets one, but I'll probably go with the under on the 1.5.
Okay, I'll go under 2. I just wanted to make it a little bit more exciting.
A little more
Um,
exciting, yeah.
do you think that this will be a bigger, like, Debo Kittle type game, more yards after the catch, or do you think it's going to be a more Aiyuk down the field game? And I'll have you answer that while also answering over under 0.5 touchdowns for Brandon Aiyuk.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. I think the game that you kind of look to when you talk about who's kind of going to be for the Rams game, because the Rams played the Cardinals 3 weeks ago, maybe. It was their second to last game, and the Rams, like they ran the ball at a high rate. The Rams don't usually run the ball that successfully, but with Kyron Williams back, he had like nearly 150 yards. He had multiple touchdowns in that game, and then he had 60 yards receiving. I think that this is going to just be an equal dosage game with a lot of running. I think the 49ers are going to try and exploit that run game. The advantage that they have there with Christian McCaffrey, and then in the air, I mean, I think you do expect some magic. I mean, you talk about the beginning of the year, they scored 35 points on this same team, and how did they get the 35 points in that game? Well, Aiyuk, I mean, he had 150 yards almost, but McCaffrey scored 4 touchdowns, right? That one obviously not as spread out. I think that, though, you'll see a little bit more of a spread out game. I think you do see Debo get, a solid amount. Aiyuk for the touchdown, I will probably go with the under. I think that one of the other three is going to somehow score the majority of the touchdowns in this one. So I'll go with the under for Aiyuk, but I think it's going to be a pretty successful game for the weapons overall.
I like this. Okay, over under multiple drive Sam Darnold
Ooh, Sam
sightings.
for multiple. I'll
Yeah.
go under. I'll go under because yeah, I don't know. Just go under. Multiple. Yeah, I'll go under. I'll go
I
under.
mean,
I'll say it's one drive.
what I'm trying to say is like not like he won't just be like kneeling the ball at the end. Like, do you think he'll
Mhm.
actually be in for like a quarter because they'll be taking their guys out, or not a
I think
quarter?
I'll
But
see him play one drive. So yeah, I'll go with the under there.
I'm also gonna go under. I agree with you. I think if he does go in, that it'll be like the final drive.
Mhm.
But that would be really nice if they could take him out earlier. I like that prediction, Randy. And then I'm gonna say over under 0.5 touchdowns for George Kittle, and I'm excited to give my answer because
You're saying, oh, for George?
yeah,
I think, yeah. I mean, I could definitely see it. He didn't have a big game the last time they played the Cardinals. Obviously, we'll go up against Buda Baker, but like Debo, I mean, he's had a couple of really solid games this year. He's coming off a game where he had a touchdown, 76 yards against Seattle. Um, I'll go with over. Sure. Why not? Just go with the over. I usually don't for Kittle, so I'll go with the over here.
I'm gonna go under. Arizona actually gives up the third fewest yards to tight ends, which I thought was kind of interesting. When I was trying to look at if they did anything well at all, that kind of pulled up, and then I saw that George Kittle didn't do too well. Not like didn't do too well, but didn't score on them last game. So I think maybe he'll be in blocking a little bit more, or just the ball will be going more to Debo, more to Christian McCaffrey. And I did do the over for Brandon Aiyuk. So I think you and I are, that's where we separate a little bit with that.
Kittle's going to have 2 catches, 15 yards, and a touchdown, just to spite you.
You're right. You're so right. That's such a that's such a George Kittle game. You're right. So, and was it in the beginning of the year that, was it you or I? One of us was always wrong on George Kittle. Like, that was just breaking us.
Yeah, it's probably me. I'm not usually right with these over-unders, so it was definitely probably me.
Okay, and then Kyler Murray, really shifty dude. And we kind of talked about that for the 49ers defense to have success against him, that they might be focusing more on containing him. 49ers have actually done fairly well against mobile quarterbacks this year, which is a surprising change from maybe the past and the narrative on this team. Now, I think the two mobile quarterbacks that they're about to see are going to be their biggest, when we talk about like biggest tests. I think Kyler Murray and then Lamar Jackson. There's no one in the league like him. So, do you think that? I wonder if I should go Nick Bosa or just D-line. Yeah, I'll go. Okay, over under 0.5 sacks for Nick Bosa.
Well, I'll go under. I think it's more of a contain approach this week, and I'm sure somebody gets a sack. I'll just go under though for Nick Bosa for this one.
Okay. See, I was thinking about pairing Chase Young and Nick Bosa together and going over under 0.5 for both of them. Would you have changed your answer if I did that?
Probably, yeah. Just because the luck that one of the two guys that will likely get a sack gets it, yeah, I probably would go over there.
I like that. Okay. And then over under, let's do 0.5 interceptions for Jair Brown. He has had a knack for the football. He's done so well. I feel earlier this week I had him as my like underrated player. I thought he's stepped in really well for Hufanga. Obviously given up some, someone in the comments was like, he's also given up plays, but kind of when we're talking about the Charvarius Ward thing, he seems to give up and then also take away.
So unfortunately, since I went with the under for Murray's interceptions, I'm going to go with the under here too.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's fine. Well, it could be a fumble recovery from James Conner, because you said James Conner.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. But excited to see how he plays too this week.
See, I went over for Kyler Murray, so I'm going to go over for Jair Brown. So that wraps up the over under game, I think, unless you had any other ones that you wanted to quickly.
No, we covered a lot of them. I'm hoping at least one hits. If one hits for me, I'll be happy this week. CMC, get a touchdown, please.
There we go. Do you have a score prediction or a general idea of what you think, how you think the game's gonna turn out? Close?
Yeah. Niners, they're 14-point favorites in this one. 14 points is, pretty stark.
12 all day. People are probably like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh,
my bad.
Yeah. It might be 12 point. One of them. 12, 14-point favorites. This is 12-point favorites. I think it is right now. Yeah. So I will say I'll take the Niners to cover the spread. I think they win by at least 12 points.
I like that. I want to go 35-16, maybe. Give them, I don't even know if that's too much for them. What's like 7 plus 3? 10.
10.
Sorry, that was ridiculous. Yeah, because I don't know. I was thinking 16 because I was like, oh, they could, but I just don't think that they're going to get, maybe. But I'm going to go, oh, let's do this. Over under Jake Moody, any missed kicks, whether it's a mixed point or missed field goal.
You're a negative person.
Sorry.
You're preying on Jake Moody to miss a kick? Oh no, but let's think about it. So Moody, I mean, it's been all right. He's 17
I think they're going to score lots of touchdowns, so he's going to do lots of extra points. You know what I mean?
I think he'll get a lot of extra points. So because of that, I'll say no missed kicks. No missed kicks because I don't. Moody hasn't missed an extra point all year. He also hasn't missed, I believe, since the bye. So I'll go with no.
There we go. See, I'm feeling positive. It's a Saturday.
But now that you brought it up, I'm sure there's some BS that's going to happen at some point.
If it happens, it's not my fault. Okay. Oh, someone said, I thought someone was saying that their mom was in the hospital, but they would just said that their mom was born in Long Island College Hospital, which is something completely different. But I was like, oh my God, this is so sad. Um, but anyways, that's why you shouldn't look at the comments at the very end. I hope that everyone has a wonderful Saturday, has a good time watching the rest of whatever games are playing, and a really good time tomorrow. I am also expecting, I think I get my prediction as a 35-10.
35-10? Yeah.
I changed it. If it's 35-16, I want to claim both of them. I like to give two scores. I like to give two scores. Just to really cover my bases. Thank you so much. Everyone should go subscribe to Rohan's channel. I bet most of you are here from his channel. Also go follow him on Twitter, read all his articles. He was so flexible with me today. I changed the time like 4 times, which I try to be good about, but he was so understanding. So it was really nice to have everyone here in the chat and to be able to do this show